Hey guys, it's Crystal here. I'm going to probably be speaking a little low. My daughter's sleeping right now, or Nyla's sleeping right now, so I don't want to wake her up. But this vlog is going to be dedicated to my pregnancy and my labor and delivery. So I had a relatively easy pregnancy for the most part. It was pretty standard in the beginning. I had really bad nausea and food aversions, but I didn't really throw up that much. I think I probably only threw up twice, and my nausea lasted literally for, I want to say, the first 10 weeks. And it was pretty bad. Well, not really. Sorry. I had nausea pretty much all day. Some days, of course, some days were better than others. And my food aversions, I couldn't stand the sight or smell of pizza. Anything that had like a strong scent to it, so like herbal flavorings and things like that, I couldn't stand it. And that was pretty much it. I craved a lot of spicy, I craved a lot of salty, savory. So initially I definitely thought I was having a boy. Because of that, I didn't want anything sweet at all, which is normal for me because I love sweets. I love ice cream, I love candy, I love it all. And when I was pregnant, early on in my pregnancy, I did not want it at all. I didn't really start showing until I was probably about 5 months. And I had like a little belly. I'll probably include like pictures in the vlog. I didn't really gain too much weight for the first month. I stayed the same. The second month I gained 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds, and then my third month I lost 2 pounds. The fourth month I gained 4 pounds. My fifth month I gained 2 pounds. The sixth month I gained 4.4 pounds. My seventh month I gained 10 pounds. My eighth month I gained 7.6 pounds, and then my ninth month I blew up. I gained 25.6 pounds. So overall, I gained 51.5 pounds throughout my entire pregnancy, and the bulk of it, as you can see, was in my ninth month. I also had, I said I had an easy pregnancy, but then I had all this stuff. I also had dizzy spells where I actually fainted twice, oh no, 3 times. The first time I definitely do think it was due to dehydration. I'm originally from Southern California, and my husband and I, we moved to Georgia during the summer because he got a new job. So I wasn't used to the humidity, I wasn't used to the heat like that. So whenever we would go out, I was drinking water, but obviously I wasn't drinking enough. So the first time I fainted, I definitely attribute that to dehydration. And then the second time I fainted, I think it was, just some like a symptom that I was having in my pregnancy. My mom also told me that when she was pregnant with my older brother, she would go through periods where she would faint. So I just think it's a symptom that I had. And then also during my, I want to say my 7th month, I had a kidney infection. So that was horrible. That was probably the worst thing I could have endured during my pregnancy. I knew something was wrong because I woke up at like 3 in the morning one night and I was just hot. Like I was hot, but I was also cold at the same time. And I know that hot and I know that that mixture is typically due to a fever. So I checked my temperature, and sure enough, I was at 101. So being pregnant and this being my first pregnancy, I didn't know what to do. So of course I called my physician and let her know. I was, I want to say 33 weeks then, I want to say. I'm not too sure. But I was past 30 weeks. So I called my physician and I let her know, and she told me to take Tylenol and lay down and just keep monitoring my temperature, and if things get worse, to call her back, and she'll instruct me further on what to do, which was go to labor and delivery. So after that, well, prior to me calling her, my husband had just went to sleep, which was, well, it's not really bizarre because he's like a night owl, but I woke him up because I was having really, really bad back cramps, and I needed some sort of relief. So he got like a heating pad and put it on my back and was massaging my back. And then that didn't work. I was still in the bed at that time, or I was like hunched over the bed. And then it just got worse. I, got down on all fours on the ground because I was the only comfortable position. I noticed that my temperature went down slightly. It went down to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, but it never went down below 98, or it never went down below 100. So I kind of started feeling a little better. So I was like, okay, let me sleep it off and see, just kind of let the Tylenol do what it's supposed to do. And then I started having contractions. And they were pretty consistent. They were really strong. I had really intense contractions about 2 minutes apart for 30 minutes because after it got too bad. I was in tears. It was really bad. So my husband called my doctor, told her it was getting worse, and then she instructed us to go to labor and delivery. They started me on I can't think of the name of it, but it's a smooth muscle relaxant. They gave me a shot of that every 30 minutes. Oh Lord, I can't remember. I think, no, it wasn't every 30 minutes. That's too close. I think it was every 2 hours. They, of course, had me on the fetal monitors and monitoring my contractions. Baby girl was doing okay. When we first got there, they could tell she was a little agitated because her heart rate was above 150, or yeah, it was above 150. And normally, typical range, whenever I had my doctor's appointments, she was always around 140. So it was like the high 150, close to 160 range. So we could tell she was a little agitated. She was kicking all over the place. And so my contractions, once I got to labor and delivery, were they kind of spread out a little bit. So they were every 5 to 8 minutes apart, but they were still pretty intense until I got my second shot of whatever the smooth muscle relaxant that they gave me was. And then eventually they kind of just, they didn't stop, but they just kind of lengthened out, and they lengthened out and they weren't as intense. So they moved me over to the perinatal unit just to continue monitoring me and also to start me on antibiotics. They did ultrasounds on me. They did ultrasounds on my kidneys and on my bladder to kind of figure out what was causing what was causing my fever, and basically it was due to just being pregnant and having more pressure on my kidneys and on my ureters and all that kind of stuff. So I had like an inflamed kidney, and basically they just put me on antibiotics, told me to drink lots of fluids, and if I, were to start having contractions again and all that kind of stuff, to obviously go back to labor and delivery. So that was probably the worst thing, one of the worst things, minus me fainting. During my 9th month, I also started experiencing high blood pressure. And so, well, kind of throughout my pregnancy, my blood pressure was never really constant. It kind of fluctuated. Sometimes it was up, sometimes it was down. So my doctor, of course, wanted to make sure that she had a baseline for my blood pressure, just in case it went up. She would know that it's going up because, you know, of the pregnancy and all that kind of stuff. So when I hit 38 weeks was when my blood pressure kind of really spiked, more than usual, more than it, you know, was in the prior months. So my blood pressure was 145/82, which isn't too high, but it's high for pregnancy. And then, oh, also, I'm sorry, I was due January 29th and she was born January 24th. But 2 days before um, she was um, she was born, because I had to be induced.